Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Ant-Man Justice against Expert Ultron. So pull up a chair and let's see if he can do this. Okay, so we're ready to get going. We do have Expert Ultron today, and by the way, I have a mess of things as the modular set in his deck. Just decided to go with that. He's at the 22 hit points as he's supposed to be. Got the environment into play to remind me that my drones, which I do have in play obviously here, are 1 hit point and 1 attack and 1 scheme. And then I have my starting hand and I've got my helmet, so that's good. I don't have to dig for it. And I like most of what I've got, but I think I'm going to discard Heroic Intuition and Stealth Strike, see if I can't get a double resource and maybe be able to get in, just see if I can get a double resource or not. So I'll discard those 2, draw back, and nope, but now I have Mockingbird. Unfortunately, I got Nick Fury and Mockingbird and Wasp and the helmet. I want to get all of them in, but I can't get all of them in. I got to decide what I want to do. And I definitely want to get the helmet in, so I'm going to put that in with Nick Fury, Mockingbird, and Giant Strength for those resources. And then I will go ahead and flip him to Ant-Man, which when I flip, I can remove 1 threat, but there is no threat to remove. But when I go to a tiny side, I do get to draw a card, so I'm going to draw a card, and it is Resize. Okay? So while I'm here, I want to put in Army of Ants with Resize for that resource, and then I'll use the Army of Ants to knock out this drone. I'll hold on to Wasp. I'll attack Ultron for 1, so it's going to drop him from 22 down to 21, and that'll be it. So I will ready and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. 1 threat up here on the main scheme. He's going to attack. And when he does on side 2, a drone comes into play. So he's going to attack for 3, and I'm just going to let Ant-Man take this. So it's going to be 3. Boost. Choose to either spend a energy resource or put the top card of your deck into play face down as a drone minion. I don't want that to happen, so I'll spend Giant Strength energy resource to prevent that boost. So it is just going to be 3 damage to Ant-Man, dropping it from 12 to 9. And then this drone will hit for 1, so he's down to 8. And then the encounter card will be Advance. Unbelievable that it came out so soon. There's nothing I can do about it. I did not want this to advance, but it's going to, because he's going to scheme for 2, 3, and as I said, that will be enough to advance to side 2. When that happens, on the side 2A, each player puts the top card of their deck into play, face down, engaged with them. So now we've got 2 drones, and this will flip. And of course, they won't scheme because that was the encounter phase. So we're in the meat of the game already, the scenario against Ultron. So hopefully we'll be okay, but we'll see what happens. And we are back to Ant-Man. Okay, and so the first thing I'm going to do while I'm in tiny form is have the Army of Ants knock out this drone here. And then I will flip to his giant side. And when I do, his hero response is that I can, when I change that form, deal 1 damage to an enemy, and that's going to be either this drone to knock it out of the game. And then I will go ahead, and when I flip, I get to heal because of the helmet, so I heal from 8 back up to 10. I'll attack for 3 onto Ultron, so we'll drop him from 21 to 18. All right. And then I will, I'm going to put in Under Surveillance over here on the main scheme with Spycraft and Hive Mind to pay for that. And that's going to be it. So I will ready Giant Ant-Man and draw it to 4 because that's his hand size in the giant form. Okay, start of the main villain phase. I put 1 threat here, and I can choose to either put in a drone or 2 more threat, and I think I will put in 2 more threat. So I'm going to put it, it's going to go from 1 up to 3. Okay, so no drones come in from that, but he is going to attack, so a drone will come in for the attack. I'm just going to have Ant-Man take it, so it's going to be 3, Another boost. Choose either spend a physical resource or put the top card of your deck into play. Oh man, I really wanted to get Wasp in next time. Well, I guess I still can if I flip to Ant-Man and draw the card. So I will spend the physical resource on Spycraft to prevent the drone from coming in. So it's just going to be 3 damage to Ant-Man to drop him from 10 to 7. And then that drone will attack. He'll go down to 6. The encounter card will be Shadow of the Past. So his Nemesis minion will come and grab those. Okay, so I've got Yellow Jacket in here. The scheme comes in with 2 thread on it. And I've shuffled those encounter cards from the Nemesis set into the deck. And I could flip to the Tiny Ant-Man and remove 1 threat. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to draw a card because the side scheme says treat the printed text box of each tech player card as if it were blank, which means I can't use Ant-Man's helmet to draw a card, which means I can't get Wasp into play or Agent Coulson to help me get rid of this. I mean, I guess I could get rid of Yellow Jacket by attacking with Ant-Man and then flipping down and attacking with Army of Ants, and I may have to do that. But I'm not sure that's the best thing to do because he's only at 6 hit points and I may need to heal up. Alright, I don't really have a lot of good options. If I flip to Scott Lang to heal up, there's a chance that even this could go off, even with under surveillance. But if I stay in hero form, there's a chance that I could get killed because I'm going to have to put a drone out. And then when he attacks, I'll have 3 drones here. So that's at least a 5. And then plus 3 would be 8. And a defense of 3 would be, if I stayed here, it would be a defense of 3, which would drop me down to 1. But then the drones would attack. So basically, I'm going to have to get lucky here on my next turn, or on the next villain turn. But I think the best thing to do, the safest thing to do, is to attack for 3 on Yellow Jacket to drop him to 1. And I can't put in any of these cards because I don't have the resources for it. I think I will go ahead and just drop down to Scott Lang, which when I go to Alter Ego, he gets to heal 1, so I'll go to 7. And that's going to be it. I'll hold on to what I have, and I'll ready. Actually, I think I'll discard Agent Coulson because I want to get Wasp in, and I might be able to use Giant Stomp. Who knows, but I will do that. I'll ready and draw to 6. Okay, so start of the main phase. We put 1 threat here on Assault on NORAD, and I am going to put a drone into play for that. So we got 2 drones there now. And then he's going to scheme for 2, just for 2 good. That's better than what I thought could happen. So it's going to go from 4 up to 6. All right. And then he'll scheme for 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll add 4 more on. So it's going to go up to 10 out of 14. And then we've already seen 1 advance. So hopefully the encounter card isn't in advance, and it is a drone. Okay, so we do have another guard in play, but at least it wasn't in advance or anything. And 10 out of 14, that was a better turn than I thought I could have. And this drone comes into play, so we survived it, and let's see what we can do now. All right, well, I've been giving this a lot of thought off camera because I'm in quite a predicament. I've got to get threat off this scheme because I can't afford for it to go off at all at any point. And also, I need to get rid of some of these drones and minions, and I've got to heal. So, because he's only got 7 hit points, but there's a lot of damage sitting out on the board. So the first thing I'm going to do is heal with Scott Lang up from 7 to 10. And then I'll go ahead and flip to Tiny Ant-Man. I will not get to draw a card because of this tech theft. I know I got to get rid of it, but right now I don't think that's a priority. I think this is, and these are. But when I flip, I do get to still remove a threat because it's not a tech player card. So I'm going to do it from here, dropping it from 10 down to 9. And then I'm going to put in Wasp with Giant Stomp and the 2 copies of For Justice that I have. And when she comes in on tiny form, she gets to remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I'm going to do it from here to drop it from 9 down to 7. And she'll come in with 3 hit points. And then I will have her attack for 2 to get rid of this drone. And then, as painful as it is, I'm going to have to put in, I think I'm going to have to put an Army of Ants with my Risk Gauntlets. I hate to do that, but I feel like I need the damage to clear some of these out. So I'm going to use this Army of Ants to get rid of this drone. And then this Army of Ants to get rid of Yellow Jacket. So now we're down to just 1 minion that I have to deal with. He's got 10 health. And hopefully I can recover and get rid of some of this stuff on the next turn. But that's going to be it for now. So I'm going to ready and draw to 5. Okay, so start of the main phase. We're going to put 1 threat here. It's going to go from 7 up to 8. And I will put a drone into play. And then Ultron's going to attack, so I was going to put another drone into play. And he gets, let's see, he gets, when he attacks, put the top card into play. And until the end of the attack, Ultron gets +1 attack for each drone minion engaged. And there are 3, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5 at least. So I don't really want to lose Wasp, so I'm going to defend this. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 2 is 4, so it drops him from 10 down to 6. And I will have him, I'll just have Ant-Man take the damage from these 3, so it's going to drop him down to 3. And then the encounter card will be under fire. So it's going to reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Another drone is going to come into play. So that's he'll come in with 4 hit points. And then under fire will surge into Yellow Jacket's plan. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a card from the Ant-Man Nemesis set is discarded this way and reveal that card. Okay, so let me do that. And it may be quite a bit here. All right, so size increase comes up. Attach to Yellow Jacket if able. If you cannot, attach to the villain. It's uses 3 counters after attached enemy activates. Remove 1 size counter from here. So he's going to get +2 scheme and +2 attack. And we're going to put 3 counters on it. And this is going to be ugly. So he's going to get at least 4. I've got 4 minions out here to deal with. He's got 3 hit points. And somehow we've got to survive this. But we are back to Ant-Man. All right, well, the good news is I have Daredevil here. I'm going to put him in. He'll come in with 3. And I'm going to put him in with Strength and the Power of Justice for those 4 resources. And he will thwart for 2. And when he does, he's going to remove this. And finally get that tech theft out of the way. And the 1 point of damage, I think I will put on this drone here, just knock it out of the game. And then I'll have Wasp thwart for 2 off the main scheme to drop it from 8 back down to 6. And I'm going to have the Army of Ants, one of them attack to get rid of this drone. And then the other one will attack. I'll hit this one to drop it down to 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip to Ant-Man. Oops. Not to Ant-Man, flip to its giant form. And when I do, I'll deal a damage to this. And also when I flip, I get to heal 2, so that's going to go up to 5. And then I'm going to play Swarm Tactics. Now, this says, so Swarm Tactics, change to your other hero form, ready your hero. And this says after you spin this card, heal 2 damage if you're in giant form, or draw a card if you're in tiny form. I'm spending it while I'm in giant form, so I'm assuming I get to heal with it, which is what I want. I'm assuming I get to heal instead of draw the card, because I'm spending it while I'm in giant form. I think that's how it plays. That's what I'm going to do. So it's going to pay for that. He'll heal up to 2, 2 more, so up to 7. And then Swarm Tactics lets me change to my other hero form and ready Ant-Man. And of course, when I change to this form, 2 things. I get to remove 1 threat from the scheme, so I'll do that. And I get to draw a card, so counterintelligence. And then I believe I'll go ahead and thwart for 2 to drop this from 5 down to 3. And I think that's it. So I will ready Ant-Man and then draw up to 5. Okay, so the start of the main villain phase, I'm going to be putting 3 on here because I am going to put the threat instead of putting another drone in. So it's going to go from 3 up to 6. And then he's going to attack, and that's going to put a drone in. And there are 3 drones, so it's 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. And Wasp is going to take that, so 7, 8. So that's going to knock Wasp out of the game. And I'll have Ant-Man take the 3 damage from here to drop him back down to 4. And then the encounter card is Tail Sweep. So Scorpion attacks your hero. If no attack was made this way, you're stunned. Okay, so I'll be stunned because there's nothing I can do about that. And we survive another round. We're back to Ant-Man. And the first thing I'm going to do is use the Army of Ants to knock out this drone here. And when that happens, I got to put a card into play or a drone into play. I'll have Daredevil thwart for 2 to remove 2 threats. So it's going to go from 6 back down to 4. And the 1 damage that from him will knock this drone out. And then I'm going to go ahead and thwart for 2 to drop this from 4 down to 2. Then I'll resize so I can change my other hero form and draw a card. So I'm going to change to my giant form. And when I do, again, a couple things will happen. I get to draw a card because of resize. So that's going to bring out Genius. And let me go ahead and shuffle my deck. And I'll get dealt an encounter card. And by the way, resize, it's been played. It's been drawn the card and everything. So this will get shuffled back into my deck. And also, so when I changed, I got to draw a card, which will trigger the shuffle. But also at the same time, I'm going to use the 1 damage to knock out this drone. So I'm pretty sure this would get shuffled back in as well. And then I get to heal 2, so he'll go up to 6. All right, now I'm going to shuffle my deck. Okay, and then while I'm here, I'm going to put in counterintelligence. I'll put it in over here. And I'm going to use Pin Particles and I guess Stealth Strike to pay for those. To pay for that, and because I'm in giant form, I get to heal 2 more. So it's going to bring me from 6 up to 8. And I have not voluntarily changed forms. I used resize to get from tiny to giant. So I am going to switch now back to Scott Lang. And when I do, I get to heal 1 up to 9. And that's going to be it. All right, so we are back to Ultron. So it's going to go from 2 up to 3. And I am going to put a drone into play because I don't want any more threat on there than I have to have, because I'm going to have to deal with 2 encounter cards this time. And so that means that Ultron will scheme for 4, 5, 6, 7, which is what I was hoping would not happen, but it did. So I will use the counterintelligence to prevent 3 of that. So he'll put 4 on there, and it's going to go up to 7 out of 14. And then I got to remove one of these counters. And then these 2 will scheme for 2 more. So that's going to be 7 up to 9 out of 14. I'll deal the other encounter card. And the first one is Ultron's Imperative. So, man. So when it comes in, it'll come in with 2 threat. And I have to put the top 2 cards of my deck into play. Okay. At least it wasn't in advance or anything. And then the other one is A Mess of Things. And he is making a mess of things, that's for sure. It's going to place 2 additional threat here for each stunned friendly character. So Scott Lang's stunned, so that's going to have 4 on it. And it's got, we've got 2 side schemes that'll deal me extra encounter cards. I've got 9 out of 14, 4 minions here. But I'm going to have to figure out a way to deal with this. And we are back to Scott Lang. All right, we are back to Scott Lang, as I said. And I've been thinking about it off camera. I really would like to heal up to 12. But I don't think that's the best thing for me to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and straight away flip to Ant-Man. And when I do, I can remove 1 threat from a scheme. And that will be the main scheme, bringing it from 9 down to 8. I get to draw a card when I flip to that form, and that's going to be Pin Particles. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to put Wasp into play with Pin Particles for 1 and Genius for 2, 3. And so when I play the Pin Particles, I get to draw a card in this form. So I will, and then I get Resize. And when she comes in while he's in tiny form, remove 2 threat from his scheme, which will be this one. So it's going to drop it from 4 down to 2. And then Wasp, she comes in with 3. I'm going to thwart for 2, dropping her 2 to go ahead and get rid of this side scheme. I'm going to have Daredevil thwart for 2 to get rid of this Ultron's Imperative and hit the damage he deals. We'll get rid of this drone, and then he's done. And she does have 2 health left. The 2 ants, 2 army of ants will take out these 2 drones. So we're good there. And then I will attack with Ant-Man to knock the stun off of him. And I flip. I've already done my voluntary flip, but now I'm going to do... no, I'm not going to use Resize yet. The first thing I'm going to do is Stealth Strike with Power Justice for 2, and I guess Spycraft for 3. And then I'll deal 4 damage to an enemy, and that will defeat the drone. And when they get defeated, the top card of my deck comes in with as a drone, so I did that. And then when I defeat an enemy, I can remove 2 threat from a scheme. It's going to be from here, 8, back down to 6. All right, very good. And now I'm going to use Resize to put him into giant form. And when I go to giant form, well, first of all, I get to draw a card here. Okay, Power of Justice. And then I get to heal 2 from 9 up to 11. And when I flip, I get to deal 1 damage. So that's going to knock off the drone that the advanced drone left. So I drew a card, I healed 2, and then I knocked out my drone, which unfortunately was Nick Fury, but that'll work. And we have gotten rid of the 2 side schemes. We're back down to 6 here, got rid of all the minions. I'd say that was a good turn. And we're going to ready Ant-Man and draw up to 4. Okay, so the start of the main phase. We're at 6 here. I'll go 7, and I will put a drone into play, I think. And then he's going to attack, which will put another drone into play. And I don't want to use Wasp so early. I know I have 11 hit points and I could defend, but I think I actually will go ahead and use Wasp for this because he's going to get 4, 5, 6 at least. And this is the last time this attachment will work. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to knock Wasp out of the game. And as I said, this comes off, and since it has uses, it gets discarded. So we're good there. The 2 damage from the drones will go to Ant-Man, dropping him from 11 to 9. And then the encounter card will be Tail Sweep. Scorpion attacks your hero. If no attack was made this way, you are stunned. Nothing I can do about it, so I'm stunned again. I guess it could be worse. And we are back to Ant-Man. And since I'm stunned, I think I will, first of all, just drop back down to Ant-Man, the tiny size. When I do, I remove 1 threat from the scheme, so I'll remove it from here. Use these 2 army of ants. Oh, I get to draw a card because I flipped. All right, good. Risk Gauntlets. And then, so these 2 army of ants will knock out these 2 drones. And then I'm going to put Mockingbird into play with Beat Cop, Power of Justice, and Under Surveillance. And I'm glad I'm just good to see the Risk Gauntlets again. Hopefully get to put that into play and start using it. When she comes in, we're going to stun Ultron. She will thwart for 1 just to take as much threat off the scheme as we can. So it's going to drop it down to 5. He's going to thwart for 2. No, actually, yes, I will thwart for 2. I know I'm stunned, but I'd like to get this down as much as I can. So down from 5 to 3. And that's going to be it. So we will ready Ant-Man and draw to 5. Okay, start of the main phase. I'm going to put 3 on here so I don't have to put a drone in. So it's going to go up from 3 to 6. He's stunned, so he won't attack. And the encounter card will be Size Increase. So it's like the one we had earlier. It's another copy of it. Yellow Jacket's not in play, so we'll put that on here. He's going to get +2, and we'll put the 3 counters on here, and then we will go back to Ant-Man. All right, so back to Ant-Man, and the first thing I'm going to do is have the Army of Ants attack for 2 to drop Ultron down from 18 to 16. Then Mockingbird's going to thwart for 1 to drop this from 6 down to 5. And Ant-Man, well, then I'm going to put in my Risk Gauntlets over here with Swarm Tactics. And I'm going to, since I'm in tiny form, I'm going to exhaust the Risk Gauntlets and spend 4 Justice and Giant Strength, the 2 energy resources, to confuse Ultron. And then I will go ahead and just thwart for 2 to drop this from 5 back down to 3. Flip to Scott Lang, which will heal him back up to 10. And hopefully we'll be able to survive. We should be able to. It's at 3 here. He's confused. We're in pretty good shape. We're going to ready and draw to 6. All right, so starting the main phase. I'm going to put 3 on here so we don't have a drone coming up. So it goes back up to 6. Out of 14, he's confused, so he won't scheme. So we'll go straight to the encounter card, which is Exhaustion. So we will exhaust Scott Lang, and it will surge into Swarm Attack. Each drone minion engaged with your hero attacks. If no attacks were made this way, put the top card of your deck into play face down, engaged with you as a drone minion. All right, so we'll do that, and we are back to Scott Lang. Okay, well, unfortunately, I got exhausted last turn. That's messed up my plan a little bit, so I'm going to have to change it, do something a little different. I'll flip to the tiny side Ant-Man. Remove 1 threat here, dropping it from 6 back down to 5. And then have 1 army of ants knock out this drone. And then the other one hit Ultron for 1 to drop him down to 15. And then, oh, by the way, when I flip to this side, I get to draw a card. So it is Heroic Intuition. Okay. And I will use Hive Mind with Heroic Intuition and I guess for Justice to thwart for 2, 3, 4 off the scheme, dropping it from 5 down to 1. And then, no, I don't want to use for Justice for that. I'm going to use Spycraft to pay for that. Sorry. So I used Heroic Intuition and a Spycraft to pay for the Hive Mind. And because I want to exhaust the Risk Gauntlets and use these 2 energy resources, I want to hold on to this energy resource. I want to hold on Giant Stop, excuse me, for another turn. So these will confuse him again. And let's see, I'm not going to use Mockingbird because she's going to take the attack. So I will ready Ant-Man and draw up to 5. Okay, my deck's been reshuffled, so I'll put 1 threat on the main scheme up here to bring it to 2. I will put a drone into play. He's going to attack for 4. Well, I'll put a drone into play for this, and then another drone comes in for his attack because he's still on side 2. So 2 drones are in now, so it's 2, 4, 5, 6, and Mockingbird, by the way, is going to take this. So it's going to be 6, 7. So she will be knocked out of the game, and we'll remove one of these counters off a size increase. Like Ultron needs a size increase. He already hits hard. These 2 drones will hit Ant-Man, dropping him from 10 to 8. And now I've got to deal with 2 encounter cards. The first one is going to be Advance, but fortunately he's confused, so that won't do anything. And then the other one will be Rage of Ultron. Ultron attacks you, discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt by this attack. All right, I've got 8, so a drone's going to come into play. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 at least. And I did not want to have to defend, but I'm going to have to just to have a chance to survive this. So again, 4, 5, 6, 7. And choose to either spend a mental resource or put the top card of your deck into play face down with you. I'm going to spend Agent Coulson as a mental resource so that I don't have to put any more drones in. So let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus 2 is 5. So that drops him down to 3. And with Rage of Ultron, discard the top card of your deck for each damage dealt. So it dealt 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just when I thought I had everything under control, he comes back and hits me again. But I do remove a counter because he attacked me there. And we are back to Ant-Man. Okay, so I will put in my third copy of Army of Ants with energy. And all 3 of these will attack to remove all 3 of these drones. So that's good at least. And then I will flip to the giant side of Ant-Man. And when I do, I can deal a point of damage. I'll deal it to Ultron because that's not an attack. So he'll go to 14. And I get to heal 2, which will go up to 5. And the reason why I did that instead of going back down to Scott Lang to heal is because I'm going to exhaust my risk gauntlets and use these 2 strength resources to stun Ultron. So hopefully, hopefully he won't get to attack with this card and I'll be able to start picking up again, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to ready and draw to 4. Okay, so start of the main phase. I think I will put 3 here so I don't have to put a drone into play. So it's going to go from 2 up to 5. He's supposed to attack, but he won't. He's stunned. And then the encounter card is Master Plan. So, well, if this is not a... Nope, that's not. So he won't get to put a side scheme in, but he does get an acceleration token on the main scheme now. And I'll reshuffle this and move back to Ant-Man. All right, my deck has been reshuffled. I'm back to Ant-Man, and the only thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and attack so I can remove this stun and get it out of the way once and for all. And then I'm going to put in a counterintelligence with Genius because I really feel like I need to heal. So I'm going to do that, hold on to these 2, flip down to Scott Lang, which will let me heal up to 6. And that's going to be it. I'll ready and draw to 6 and hope I can survive this. Okay, so start of the main phase. I'm supposed to put 2 threat here. And then I could put 3 more, which would bring it up to 10. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put 2 threat on here to bring it up from 5 to 7. And then put a drone into play. And then he will scheme for 4, 5, 6. So I'll use my counterintelligence to prevent 3 of that. So put another 3. So that's going to bring it up to 8, 9, 10. And this will scheme for 1 to bring it up to 11. So now we are at 11 out of 14. And this counter goes away. So finally this size increase is gone. So we're at 11 out of 14. Hopefully this won't be an advance or anything. We'll see what it is. Oh my goodness. I just cannot believe this happened. So we're at 11 out of 14. He schemes for 2, 3. And that is enough to move this to side 3. Which brings in a drone. I cannot believe that advance came out, and there was nothing I could do about it. And so that drone comes out with this. We flip over, and now he's got 14 hit points still on side 2. And then I've got to get through all the 27 hit points. And I'm not real sure how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to figure out a way right now. So we'll move back to to Scott Lang. All right, so I've been looking at it. I think the best thing to do is put Nick Fury into play with these 4. And when he comes in, I'm going to have him deal 4 damage to Ultron. And then 5, 6. We'll drop him down to 2. So that's going to drop him from 14 to 8. All right. And then I will heal with Scott Lang for 3 up to 9. Then flip to his giant form. And when I do, I get to heal 2 more because of the helmet, up to 11. And deal 1 damage to an enemy. And that's going to be, I guess, this drone here. And I think that's all I can do for now. So we will ready and draw up to 4. Okay, so start of the main villain phase. We put 2 out of 5 threat here. So I'm running out of turns. And he's going to attack. So drone will come into play. Nick Fury's going to take this. It's going to be 4. I can spend an energy resource. I'm not, because I'm not getting rid of Giant Stomp. I've got to have all these to do something. So another drone will come into play. So 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to knock out Nick Fury. He'll drop from 11 to 8. And then the encounter card will be Gang Up. Unbelievable. Well, he's going to attack. So that's going to be 4 drones in here. And I'm going to have to defend. So it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 minus 3 is 4. Dropping him from 8 to 4. And then that's it. Because then it was a gang up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Dropping him to 0. And that is the game. Well, that is not how I thought it would turn out. I thought that I had a chance to win. I thought I would win. I mean, just a lot of bad draws that advanced at the wrong time to move it here. I got the Nemesis set at one point, and just things. I mean, I felt like the encounter deck went against me. I did the best I could. I think Ant-Man's a lot better than what you see here, but that is the game. That was Ant-Man Justice against Ultron Expert with a mess of things. And I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll know when any future playthroughs are coming out. And until they do, I'll save you a seat at the table. Bye.